And this is cybersecurity law and privacy in the digital age. Intellectual property. Intellectual property is a general term for a set of intangible assets owned and legally protected from outside use or implementation without consent. Intellectual property refers to creations of the mind. Writing, music, industrial designs, movies, videos, even photographs have been copyrighted or trademarked. Even this presentation is intellectual property. Intellectual property has 4 distinct types: copyright, patent, trademarks, and some trade secrets are considered intellectual property. Protection of intellectual property. It used to be that private sector had to deal with cyber attacks. Now the governments feel that they need to do something and are working on new laws and regulations. Currently, 32 states are enacting new cyber laws, but establishing new laws takes time. To fill the gap, there's the All Writs Act. This act allows courts to issue writs in 8 jurisdictions. There are 4 elements for use: the absence of alternative remedies. This can fill the gaps in cyber laws. The Act aids jurisdictions. It does not establish new jurisdictions or a federal subject matter jurisdiction. It must be necessary or appropriate to aid a jurisdiction, and the writ must agree with the law. So, what is a writ? A writ is a form of written command in the name of a court or other legal authority. In the 21st century, the Writs Act is most known for gaining access to cell phones. These writs, in many opinions, conflict with people's right to privacy. These writs, most notably, usually involve Apple phones. Another version of protecting intellectual property, we have Universal Studios versus Corley. The defendants found a way to decrypt encrypted DVDs and then posted the decryption program on the web for anyone who wanted to use it. They were told to take it down and stop posting links to the program. They countered that their decryption program was free speech and therefore protected by the First Amendment. The court decided that part of the code in question did constitute speech. They determined that the functional portion of the decryption is considered a non-speech element. And although confirmed as speech, that speech gave unlawful access to another person's intellectual property. Therefore, the free speech protection that would have been afforded had to be limited to protect Universal's intellectual property. So who enforces cyber laws in the U.S.? Well, we have the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, or CISA. Their key role is enforcing cybersecurity measures nationally. It helps to ensure the nation's cybersecurity resilience. Department of Homeland Security. CISA operates under DHS. DHS has a broad mandate to serve the nation. Secure the nation. The Department of Justice. It investigates and prosecutes cyber crime. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST. Although not an enforcement agency, it has developed and promotes the cybersecurity framework, which is a voluntary set of guidelines and best practices. There's also the Federal Trade Commission. It promotes fair trade and protects customers. It enforces consumer protection laws, especially laws related to cybersecurity and privacy. It acts against companies engaged in unfair or deceptive practices related to data security. Then there's the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. It oversees the securities industry and protects investors. Recently, it has increased its focus on cybersecurity. Public companies must disclose cybersecurity risks and incidents to the SEC. Office of Civil Rights, under the Department of Health and Human Services. The OCR enforces HIPAA regulations in the healthcare sector. It ensures compliance with HIPAA standards. And then there are states' attorneys general. They enforce state-specific regulations related to privacy and cybersecurity. The attorneys generals have authority over certain consumer protection and data breaches. In addition to these here in the U.S., there are other countries and United Nations have other cybersecurity laws. And there is the reference page. Thank you for your time.